You know what? I feel like we're having a lot of magic discussion, and I think that
That's
given that there's
probably a good
a
idea.
lot of magic discussion happening, given that we're on a magic podcast, I think that recording it is probably the play.
I think you're so correct for that.
Okay,
so real for
Bugs,
that?
I don't like it when you say that I'm correct because that implies that I've ever been wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Actually, oh, you know what? No, you continue to be so correct for that.
thank you. Okay. It's just sort of an implication that if I'm saying something, it's because it's correct, is what I'm
Yeah,
trying to
no,
say.
I feel.
Yeah, because
No, I
essentially you're
apologize.
calling me a liar when you say you're so correct, because
You're
if I said something wrong, that makes me a liar, and I'm not a liar.
No, you're
Okay.
many things, but certainly not a liar. Hot, hot, hot. I'm rolling around on the floor like a fucking dog.
Rolling around on the floor like a little
like-
dog dog.
You're like hit movie Dogman 2025 from Blumhouse.
No, I'm more like Night Bitch.
Dude,
You're like
dude,
the hit film
can't-
Hotel for
You
Dogs.
can't mention Night Bitch and like not expect me to want to talk about Night Bitch. You have no idea. You have no
Okay,
idea.
actually, oh my god, I still haven't seen it.
Do we open the episode with Night Bitch talk? Why the fuck?
Hey yo, what up? Welcome to
Welcome
Podatog,
back
the
to
one and only
Night
Night
Bitch
Bitch podcast.
Podatog, whatever. Podatog, come posting. Come podding. Come podatog. Come podatogging.
Cumatog. It's Cumatog.
Cumatog. Welcome back to What's
Welcome back
up,
to
Will?
Cumatog.
Wait, hear me out. What if we did this? What's up, little goblins? It's
No.
Cumatog. Back at
Mm.
okay, it doesn't have the ring of
No,
Lil Cummins.
hear me out. Like, shit.
What's up, little Cummins?
No, what's spawning my spiders? Welcome back to Podatog.
What's spawning my spiders? Welcome
What?
back. That's a good one. I like it.
Yeah, no, I love
that on a
spider
shirt.
spawning.
Put that on a shirt. What's spawning
I just put
my
spider
spiders?
spawning in my Golgari vampire deck.
We're so focused today. Hi, welcome to Podatog.
Okay,
I'm Bugs.
This is me every day. Hi, welcome to Podatog. I'm Jordan.
And Rose is pretty active on the mic right now, and
Yeah,
is she? Hell yeah.
It's not a guest episode. It's fine.
Yeah, no, we're just hanging out.
Whatever. I did want to apologize to you because I realized I've been a bully. I was bullying you guys on the Magic the Gathering podcast for liking Magic the Gathering. I called you nerds. I think I said turbo nerds, and I said that you were like cold warriors who didn't go outside last episode. I want to apologize because I've been reflecting. I've been a journey.
I mean, I hear you. I see you. I love that you're learning and growing. But I just got back from MagicCon Chicago, and let me tell you, this game's kind of full of nerds. So you might be kind of right, actually.
I just wanted to say I threw a stone in a glass house because this week I've been organizing my books by Dewey Decimal.
You're an icon.
Because let me tell you, folks, it was getting out of hand. I was not keeping up with my ISBN trackers, and they were just getting put onto shelves haphazardly, like with no account for what the Dewey Decimal number was. And this week I've been fixing
I
that.
love that you're learning and growing. I love that you're becoming a bigger and better person.
Is that worse than being a Magic fan?
No, because
no.
you're doing something productive. You are touching paper that's expensive for a good reason.
Is it productive that I realized that I have 2 copies of On the Condition of the Working Class of England? Because that's just sad. It's just a sad thing to discover that you...
Okay, you know what? Now you're getting a little sweaty with it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I know. It's sad. It's worse. It's worse. You can say it's worse, and I won't bully you again. That's my promise.
All right. It's definitely about as bad.
Yeah, it's up there.
Oh my god. But yeah, Jordan, how you doing? How you feeling?
It's been such a time in the rest of the world, and also a time in like the world of Magic where I have been doing. Sorry, give me 1 second. My dog is whining about something. Give me a second.
I need a supercut of every time you need to ask for a second because your dog is whining.
Okay, how are you, Bugs? How are you? my
I'm
friend.
doing great. So this past weekend, was MagicCon Chicago, and we gathered a lot of magic. I hung out with some very, very lovely friends, and Rosa, I'm going to tell you a little bit later into the pod how much money I spent on a single piece of cardboard, and
Uh-oh.
I'm going to need you to like really internalize how bad I am
Okay.
with money.
I
This is a safe space. We
I
will
will say,
we will hold
okay,
space for you.
again, I'm no better. Here is a original 1932 copy of Liam O'Flaherty, I Went to Russia, published in Ireland, original first edition. So I'm no better.
So what you're saying is we're all
Did-
autistic about different things.
No,
We
I'm
all love
confirmed
paper.
not. I'm confirmed not autistic. Okay, pal. I'm like
Oh.
I'm very autistic about the fact that I'm not autistic.
My special interest is telling people that I'm not autistic.
Exactly. Except I will say
Jesus.
I think I almost gave myself autism. If you'll indulge me for a brief
Oh,
moment.
you're
Um,
editing a Magic the Gathering podcast, so
no,
it could
no.
just you could just be catching strays.
When I was in elementary school, I I'm an amputee because of fucking wacky hijinks in the womb, and I have a cleft lip and palate. Unrelated. I just got very unlucky. And because of that, teachers would assume that I had some sort of developmental disability, for
Mm.
some fucking reason. So what I started doing is trying my absolute hardest to not act disabled, which just came across like I was highly autistic. So I started masking for no reason, and this went on from until like middle school, until my mom told me, "Why do you act autistic? What are you doing? Are you autistic?" I was like, "No,
Uh,
I
uh,
just need to prove how not disabled I am to the people around me." She says, "You're acting disabled by doing that." And I stopped, and now I'm not autistic. So I was autistic for several years, except I just
you
fixed
you were practicing. You were practicing.
I was method acting as a autistic child for many years of my life.
That's absolutely incredible. Jesus Christ.
I know it's
Dude, that rocks. Yeah,
I feel like
but
Jordan's just like
Magic.
writing shit
Yeah, no.
down with a pen.
It's
taking
okay. It's okay. We're all kind of distracted. We're all over the place here.
we're
Yeah.
all exhausted, but
Just from various things for various reasons. Well, I am
I mean,
exhausted at the sheer amount of like magic news to come out of MagicCon.
oh my god. I somehow wasn't I was in the middle of playing a bracket 1 game of Commander, kind of like stress testing the format when the Avatar The Last Airbender news dropped, and we all freaked. We're like I can't speak for the entire community, but I will say that the pod I was in was very excited that yeah, we're getting Airbender cards. That fucking kicks. It's cool if that's not for everyone. If we're doing Universes Beyond, benders are close enough to planeswalkers. We have enough people who can fucking throw fire that I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I enjoy Avatar quite a bit. But I do not have the same. I never had the same attachment to it as a lot of other people did, and
that's
so I
fair.
think for this set, it's going to be more of like my attachment to something like I like it more than Doctor Who, but something akin to like more of a 40K.
Yeah.
Where it's like I don't hate it by any stretch. I'm excited to see new cards. I'm excited to see how they can make this work in the format, how they can use this world to create a interesting play environment. But I am so are you starting to feel, because I am getting tired of the incessant bitching about how much of Magic is becoming Universes Beyond, but are you starting to feel it yet? Because I'm starting to feel it.
Um that's a great question. Like I I I don't love that we got spoilers and some stuff revealed about Final Fantasy before Tarkir.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah.
like that just did not feel super stonks. Not my favorite thing. I mean, and like they did drop a ton of Tarkir info over the weekend too, and that ruled. Like, this feels like fucking magic. Like, we have a
I know, and
dragon named after the storm scale. I think that's
I
so
think
fucking
that's like,
funny.
and I think the Tarkir. I'm looking at the Tarkir Scryfall right now. I think Tarkir and everything we've seen about it so far, and I think it being sandwiched between Aether Drift, which we're just kind of like, and Final Fantasy, which a lot of people are excited for, but it is more Universes Beyond. I think
Tarkir's gonna kick.
Tarkir's going to kick, but it is the first like outside of Foundations, it's the
Yeah.
first set that maybe Bloomborough, but I could go back further than that. This is like just some magic ass magic. Like
Yeah,
we
this
when you look
is
at the sets we had last year, this is so like uniquely classically magic in a way that we aren't getting a lot of these days, and then the
yeah.
schedule also isn't allowing for a lot of.
I yeah, it's
I do
I
just
think that
want
if
to say, as an outsider with the Universes Beyond thing, it does make me want to pick up Magic a little bit. Like, the cool
okay.
crossovers does make me want to pick up Magic, and the more that I see of it, the more I'm like, maybe I make a commander deck. I don't know. I think it's
So
cool.
here's the
I mean,
thing,
like,
is that
I first and foremost, though, I wanna jump on this and say, yeah, Rose, if you want in, I'll get you into the fucking game.
Okay.
If there's ever a card or a thing that you're like, yeah, okay, I like Spock. I want a Spock deck.
Yeah, I do want to I just think I think it would be very funny for me to do my own research and hack together some sort of commander deck, because I think that would be a funny episode. I'm planning on
Oh,
doing that at some point.
yeah,
Um
yeah. No, we
just
should we should
just to see how
absolutely
shit
plan on that.
or how good it is. Um
I want to
but
see you fall ass backwards into like stacks control decks.
I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna end up spending all of my money on packs and then wake up in a pile of my own urine covered in
yeah,
cardboard.
I mean, we've all been there. But
Which
the
No,
which
thing with
then this show would end up being a loss, because all of the money I'm making on this show just goes into a magic addiction that you guys gave me, and then I'm operating at like a monthly loss. You know?
Okay, so the thing about the Universes Beyond sets is that they are really great for getting people who might not have been interested in Magic into the game. I think that is borne out, especially with like the Fallout sets, which hit at such a perfect time for the brand, with everybody loving the Amazon show. But I was sitting down, I was at a table this last week, and I was playing with some friends, and one of them had the dog meat deck from Fallout, which is a great
oh,
equipment deck.
I fucking that thing's design is
Like it gets
awesome.
gross real fucking quick.
Yeah, like we can universes beyond yes or no until the cows come home, but like dog meat kicks.
Like and there are so many, I think the Fallout set in particular has so many great mechanical pieces of design to it that I don't blame anybody at whatever level of Magic you love, if you love the strategy of the game, for getting in and liking that set. But then I was thinking about, we just got the Cloud Commander deck, and then the Cloud Sephiroth, the kind of 2-pack starter deck. And both of those Cloud cards love equipment. And my first thought was not dog meat, but my first thought when I saw the Cloud stuff was, damn, you know who else loves equipment? Eivor from the Assassin's Creed set, with there's a Raven Clan axe and Mjolnir and Excalibur, and like there's some really great Assassin's Creed shit. And then I was
Yeah.
sitting there watching somebody Voltron, a pre-war formal wear and a silver shroud costume and a power fist or whatever the fuck onto dog meat, and I'm like, in 6 months, I'm gonna be watching this dog swing with like a fucking Buster sword and like God knows what else, something I'm sure from the SpongeBob secret lair,
Oh
and
yeah, no,
I'm
he's
just
gonna have SpongeBob spatula. It's gonna be a
like, and
reskin Colossus hammer. Like
I,
it's stuff like that that I'm like, it is the as loath as I am to be a kind of grumpy Gus about it, but it is the Fortnitification
yeah.
of everything. So I saw somebody recently posting about Call of Duty, and they were showing a
yeah.
picture, and it was Ninja Turtles on one side and fucking Terminator T800 on the other. And they were like, this is kind of like the path that Mortal Kombat and Fortnite led us to, where you just
Yeah.
stuff in so many tangentially related, like, so much tangentially related iconography that your audience
Yeah.
loves, regardless of whether it fits, to the point where it starts to water down the actual
Oh,
identity of your game.
I
oh
feel
no,
like
absolutely. Like, and
everything Smash Brothers
you're
does.
aware of the Fortnite secret lair, right?
Oh yeah, yep, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
And that,
yeah, I do think that there is something to be said about art being commodified and just reduced to this mere abstraction to be shoved in other things, which just leads to like a hegemonic
well,
blob.
no, Rosa, they haven't had mirror cards in there for a couple sets actually.
No, we had Mir back in I guess it's been a few sets, but all will be one.
Yeah, continue, Rosa.
I mean, with the crossover shit, like in the Fortnitification thing.
Oh no, I know.
Oh,
There's
okay.
a
I
there's a
look.
creature called Mir, MYR.
It's
Oh,
it's a whole creature. It's a whole little type. They're really cute little robots.
that
They're
was
little
so
guys.
far above my head, I didn't even see it.
Well, no, actually, they'd be below your. They're tiny. They're small.
Okay, me in editing insert a laugh track.
But tis.
Okay,
Well,
well, I do think that there is a point to be made about the death of individual artistic identity within these. I loathe the term intellectual properties. By just shoving in
Oh, it's all
neutered abstractions of other pieces of art, which leads to just like everything being Smash Brothers. Which Smash
it's
Brothers is
everything Smash
cool
Brothers, and it
unique.
wants you to do the fucking what's his name, the Leo DiCaprio point.
Yeah,
Well, and it's not just that. For me, I think the big problem is that it's not just like, Fortnite or Call of Duty. They have a $20 skin or a $10 skin or whatever if you want to play as, fucking Batman or Homelander or Pickle Rick. Who gives a shit? Like whatever. For me, it isn't just that it is now secret layer stuff. It is now we're looking at full sets, and
Standard
I was
legal
talking about,
sets.
standard legal sets, but like I was talking about with Fallout Commander, like these are fully custom created decks with great unique cards and unique mechanics that players will want to play. And like that makes it a good product, but I think that, there isn't that abstraction where it's like so Bugs, I've been making a lot of proxies lately. I've been showing you some of the ones I'm making.
Yeah.
And I just ordered a set of I have about 10 cards that I used art from the Witcher digital card game, because there's
Hell
just
yeah.
like an online repository of like hundreds of pieces of high res, great painted artwork of like Witcher monsters and shit. And it's just they're just staples. It's like burnished heart,
Yeah.
jet medallion, stuff I have,
Just
a couple
shit
of.
that you're gonna jam into everything.
Exactly. Just to look at my cool ass. Here's a Swords to Plowshares, but it has Geralt on it. Isn't that neat? And just stuff like that when I'm building decks. But that's different than like, okay, here are entirely unique cards that you can only get this way. That when you sit down to a table, like if you are one of the players that for whatever reason you want to not partake in buying, because I know there are grumpy Gusses out there who are already poo-pooing like, oh, Spider-Man, brr, brr, brr. Like that isn't going to stop these cards from being relevant.
Yeah.
And in some cases, there are going to be cards that are like, no, like we're gonna need to talk about banning this. We're gonna need to talk about how this affects the curve and how like is this a game changer and stuff moving forward. And
yeah.
I guess that all wraps back around to Bugs wanting to ask you at MagicCon, what was the kind of flavor with that? Because you're talking about, peering at the rest of the year, peering at these big announcements. When you're talking about, it's just like you were saying with getting Final Fantasy news before Tarkir. Isn't Edge of Eternities the next set after Tarkir?
No, it's going
Or is
Tarkir
it
Fantasy Edge.
okay?
Yeah,
Then,
so
but
we're
Edge of Eternities is
thankfully
still before Avatar, though, right?
yes. Avatar will be the final set of the year.
And see, and that's the thing is that like again, I feel like you're getting And I understand it's all for hype reasons. I am, the marketing department has this all fucking tracked out, I'm sure. But the idea that you are looking down the barrel of back to back original universe Magic sets and the things that they're showing off at these conventions for Magic fans, the things that are getting the most attention, not just from headlines, but from the people making the game, are Avatar and Final Fantasy. And I'm
Yeah.
curious, was there any sense of tiredness or any kind of fatigue even starting to set in for either you or other people at the con?
I mean, I would say that I still have a decent amount of hype for the franchise writ large. And I mean, okay, so going into the con, I actually had the really awesome experience of so I took a train from Minneapolis to Chicago, and I rode the whole way there with a friend of mine, Trap, who he's very big in like the Vorthos community within Magic, so like very, very lore heavy. And we probably spent like 4 hours speculating on the story of Tarkir and trying to piece together like, okay, what the fuck does this mean for Ugin? Are we going to see Nicol Bolas and all of that? And so like there is definitely still a pretty good chunk of the community that like gives a shit in that direction. And I guess kind of broadly though, like the sense at the con was two things, or it was everyone was very of two minds. It was either, oh fuck yeah, Avatar, let's go. Like, do I love that this is what the card game that I love is becoming? Maybe not necessarily, but I am going to try to be excited about it. Or a sort of resigned, well, all right, I'm not gonna, at least thus far, and I think this will probably continue into at least next year, there's still a sense of, still a very strong communal sense of, I will never tell someone that they can't play a card they like at my table.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, I being kind of synecdoche for most Magic players, like, I would rather share with you a fun, a fun game of cards than be a dick. And even though it's like I got into Magic because of the art and the lore. Like that was like I think that this shit's awesome. Like it was really fun to try to stress test the new like bracket system for commanders, where one of the things that usually is held to be like the weaker decks are the ones that are built for like super flavor lore reasons, and then be like, no, here's my Rhea Ivor deck. It got dubbed the Cuck Chair by one play group because I did not allow two players to play the game because this deck is a pile of heinous hell. It's like, no, if you want to, you can indulge yourself in the lore and have a great fucking time. And I do wish that there was, if we were going this hard on Universes Beyond stuff, I wish that like an equal amount of energy was being spent fostering this side of things as well. I think, and I think that sentiment is very, very shared through the community right now.
I will say, I don't think that there's anything necessarily like grumpy about being bothered by the introduction of these crossover things, because I don't know if I've been playing this game like a game for years and years and years, and the new meta was the Pickle Rick meta, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Because it's like
and it's
death of the individual artistic identity. And like, as someone who grew up playing TF2, who loves TF2, like I felt that when there was any sort of like crossover items that broke the art style, like even if it got people into the game, it's like, no, this is this whole artistic universe that I really like because it's its own thing, and there can be some cool crossovers that make sense. But when it's stuff like an Octodad hat being added in, I don't want that. That looks like shit. Get it out. It doesn't fit.
Yeah. No, I think that that's a really apt way of putting it. Like,
I think that like I would be a hypocrite to say that anyone is to or agree with the sentiment that anyone's like being grumpy or stuck in their ways for saying that they don't like the crossover shit, because
Yeah,
as someone who gives a shit about art, um
yeah.
I probably wouldn't like it, even if I'm
It's
able to like be a little soy redditor who's like, "Oh my god, look at all the awesome crossover," on the sidelines
it
because I'm not familiar with it. If I
yeah.
was familiar with it, I would be like, "This is the death of an art style," yada 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 yada, etc. 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 Because
It
I've
like
done that in the past.
it truly is like trying to juggle both or trying to wear both of those hats at once sometimes. Like it's just like be for real, please. Like
Yeah,
cuz
and
like yeah, I mean I I like the way that the story is going right now. I think it's a lot of fun and I wish that like Wizards was doing more to promote that side of things where it's like um it's really been interesting, actually, something that came up a few times over the weekend. The difference in opinion that people who care like pay attention to the official story or not, like what they think about loot is. Loot
Yeah.
for the
Oh, I bet.
uninitiated is a funny little orange guy who feels a little bit like a baby Yoda, but in
And
universe is
well,
actually
in
really
the
interesting.
context of being like a mascot, a lot of people treat him like he is a mascot character. First and foremost, like in the way that people see Baby Yoda or the Porgs or fucking
Yeah.
any cute little guy in a new Star Wars or Marvel thing.
I hate marketable things. I hate cuteness. I think that
He's a
everything
little
should be.
Pikachu. He's a little Pikachu that's literally like a map of the multiverse. And I think that's awesome. And it's like, what is it? He's a beast noble? Like, y'all, we're not talking about the creature typing here. This is a really interesting little dude. I want to know his deal. But yeah.
Yeah, it's complicated because I think that the looking back, my 2 cents for what little it's worth is that these crossover sets would have been best as like official proxies where it's like
Oh, they used to do that. They used to do that. They used to do
yeah,
effectively reskins
yeah,
where it's like an in-universe dinosaur, but it's Godzilla.
yeah,
An
that
in-universe
Yeah.
vampire, but it's Dracula.
that would
And
make more sense to me because then it's an
that's
optional thing. And
that's my favorite way to do it. Like,
yeah, like I've been playing a bit of Balatro lately, and I love that
yeah.
game's art direction. Fantastic game. If you haven't played it yet, go play it. And it had official crossovers with like a number of properties, but the way it did it is completely optional in a way that I really like, where rather than just like forcing an Among Us Joker that wouldn't fit the game into the game, they made it an optional skin for your heart's face cards and shit like that.
Oh, I love that.
I like
That's
that a
normal.
lot because like there was a Don't Starve crossover and I turned it on for my Spades deck. My Spades face cards because I like that. But if I hadn't played and liked Don't Starve, I wouldn't like this weird sort of unfitting art in a game which has this coherent, fantastic art direction that I really like. I think that that probably would have been the best way to do it for the
Yeah.
uh crossovers.
Yeah, no, I think that you're 1,000% right. And
Yeah,
it's just like I I kind of understand why they stopped doing it like that, but it's also
it makes
just
less sense
like,
to me.
yeah.
Which I think is a shady reason to. I don't think that that's a reason that should be accepted. You know, if that
Yeah,
makes sense. Like,
yeah.
there logically speaking, a lot of films make decisions I disagree with because
Hmm.
it makes money, because it can lead up to a sequel, because it makes it more marketable, yada 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 yada. But it doesn't mean that I have to like it or accept it, even if there
Yeah.
is the adverse effect of introducing more people to a piece of art that I like. I'd rather just have a better piece of art.
Yeah, no, let me be more excited. Give me some like weird little Phyrexian to geek out over. That like give me a Phyrexian to talk about on Blue Sky, just like uninhibited for 25 minutes. I will get 5 new players. Like
Yeah.
it's yeah.
Well, so it's interesting you actually mentioned that because I've been as I've been getting deeper into like building specific decks and getting into building more, let's call them bracket 1 or 2 decks. Like I've recently started building a like Sengir family deck, which most of the
I
Sengir cards are from fucking homelands and are absolutely cheeks. But going into that has been a fun way to also like go back and read through the story and read through these worlds and like old fucking comic books that they had made in the 90s. And it does remind you how much history there is to this game, but also to these multiple fantastically detailed fantasy worlds that they've brought to life over the years. And I think that part of the big reason people have been so disappointed, and there's this idea of Magic, like dress up hats is an idea that's been
yeah.
floated about things like Karlov Manor was dressing up detectives hats, Thunder Junction was dressing up in cowboy hats, and that's like I think the fairness in that comes from the fact that you aren't. It is not the level of depth and exploration that people are accustomed to from that world, from uh, the cards themselves, the stories being told through the cards. And I think that to me is one of the things that we're also like missing out on, even in the and maybe hey, maybe that'll change. Maybe eventually they will try to start telling their own unique stories in these universes. I think that would be neat instead of just like, oh,
That'd
here's a
be
bunch of Fallout cards. I mean, that's
like
what we wanted
here's a
them.
bunch of references.
No.
Well, and here's the like that's what we were talking about with Spider-Man. Like, what if they had the Spider-Verse, but it was different planes? Like, so here's Innistrad Spider-Man, here's Ravnica and Kaladesh Spider-Man. Like that I feel God, I'm waiting with bated breath. That will never happen. I want it to happen so bad. But
Yeah.
That'd be so kick ass.
aside from that, let's talk about MagicCon. For those who weren't able to go but dearly wanted to, like myself, how was it? What did you do? Tell me all about it.
I mean, my shock of shocks, my MagicCon experience was silly and sillier than maybe most people's because I spent all of Saturday being my friend's cosplay handler while they were competing in like the officially sanctioned cosplay contest. Um, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the con. I guess I could break it up into like Friday, Saturday, Sunday all looked very different for me. Like Friday was the day I jammed Commander. I think I jammed like 7 games of Commander.
Oh,
All
lordy.
different power brackets. Very pleased to very pleased to relay that bracket 1 decks are a fucking blast. If you get a pod that's just down to clown, my mono red Jared Carthelian deck is so fun to play. It's head ass nonsense. Like I wasn't casting him some games. It didn't matter. I'm like, I get to see a Shivan Dragon. I get to see this mountain cycling cougar. I don't give a shit.
It's
and
interesting
like
you bring up the bracket system because this was also the first week that
yeah,
my local
yeah.
LGS switched over to brackets, and I have thoughts on that as well. But continue.
I mean, I will say that at least in Chicago, they were very successful. Like every game that I fired, everyone felt pretty like it's like, okay, y'all down for like let's do a 3? Yeah, let's do a 3. And everyone knew like, okay, yeah, like a punchy game, but not like a throwdowny game. Let's go. And that felt lovely. I am oscillating between whether or not Rhea Ivor is a 3 or a 4 as I currently have her built. I think that that really comes down to how I feel like piloting it. But yeah, I spent Friday jamming a shitload of Commander and hunting down a Junji Ito Elish Norn.
Yeah, I saw that. How much? So okay, and you were going to rock Rosa's socks with tale of what you spent on collectible cardboard this weekend.
Oh
I
yeah, so
did want to ask real quick.
yeah.
How did it smell?
So I and my roommates showered all 3 days and wore lots of deodorant, so it smelled fine for us. I do have maybe an anecdote about the smell for Saturday night.
That's surprising
We
because you're a film producer. I figured that you like abused cocaine instead of showering, but good on you, buddy.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, please to announce that it was didn't smell nearly as terrible as the memes might have you believe. But yeah, so this Junji Ito Norn, um it's a birthday present for Violet. She knows about it. She like literally like so it was her birthday this past weekend and I like didn't realize the timing and I'm like, "Oh fuck, I'm going to be out of town." I'm like,
I love
"Dude,
Junji Ito, so this is justified no matter how much it is because I love
Rosa, look it up. Look up the card right now. His Elish
Junji
Norn is so fucking beautiful.
Norn, as in like the new norm, but with a
Yeah,
second
like yeah,
N.
like it like Elish spelled like an E instead of an F for flesh. Norn like Norm McDonald but with an N at the end.
Yo, so like Flesh Simulator new norm. Oh, that's a
Yeah.
gas card, dude. That rocks, dude.
Yeah. Isn't
I
that sick
picked
as
that up.
hell?
I get that on my wall, dude. I don't even play, but like any
Yeah,
amount
it's
is
hot as
completely
shit.
justified. God, I love
Yeah, no.
Junji Ito. Fuck.
Yeah, no, we fucking love mommy. Yeah, this is like the sickest version of one of the sickest characters
It
in all of
literally
Magic,
is
and like,
mommy. Mother of machines. Wow.
yeah, no, she's mommy. Um, yeah, no, so Vi asked me to find this card for her, and I spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours trawling every single vendor, being like, please have a Junji Ito Norn, like, please have one. And I kept being told, "Oh, we just sold like the only one we brought." Until I got to the literal last vendor,
Can I guess?
and
How much?
they had one, and they only had one, and it was a foil one, and I'm like, "Yeah, she's worth it. Let's fucking go." It was
One band.
only $115.
Oh.
Oh, that's
Honestly,
not. That's
that's
really
oh,
not that bad for.
Dude, I've paid that more for a first edition book. And like
Yeah.
I've paid.
Oh, this was after I'd
$500
bought
for
her
a
a Junji Ito Thoughtseize and a Phyrexian Text Elish Norn Grand Cenobite, just in case I couldn't find these.
Fair.
Which is to say, she got some really fucking cool cards. But no, Rosa, I also spent almost $300 on a different card.
Oh. That wasn't Junji Ito, so it's a lot less justified.
I mean, it's still really cool art, but I picked up a Judge's Foil Phyrexian Dreadnought.
No. For how much?
280.
280. Yeah.
And
I mean, the suckers out there will pay money for anything. Like people pay money for my Patreon. I have a tier where you give me $25 a month, I assign you a poster one time. Like there are a lot of suckers out there. A lot of
I'm happy with the purchase. And I think that I'm the only person who's playing Phyrexian Dreadnought in Commander for flavor reasons.
I don't know. It's art, even if it's more abstracted, and I'm always sort of okay for people spending a lot of money on art.
I love the Dreadnought. I think like mechanically it's really cool. I think the art is for anyone listening to this who doesn't know the Phyrexian Dreadnought, it's from Mirage Block, and so it's a reserve list card that came out in like the mid-90s. The Judge's Foil is the only shiny version of it that exists. Like it's so just like I like that
I like this.
Pardon?
I'm looking at it and I like it.
It's sick looking, isn't it? And like I'm not just gonna let that waste away in a binder. Like
it looks like it looks like Infant Annihilator, an Infant Annihilator album cover.
Yeah. It's metal as
a lot
shit.
of those, yeah, a lot of the older Phyrexians, like the new Phyrexia era, have this fucking like H.R. Giger metal look to them that
Yeah,
I
I
as much
believe.
as I love the March of the Machine and the All Will Be One, like more chitinous look, those fucking old Phyrexians had sauce. They had fucking swag.
Old Phyrexians fucking oh my I'll get into my fucking monster fuckery if we start talking about this for too
Yeah,
long. So
but yeah, no, both of these are justified because it's cool art, and it's like I'll buy metal albums just because H.R. Giger did the album cover. Like
right?
both of these are up my alley. So
And I think that like both of
good
these
on
are
you.
also original Magic IP. Just to kind of like get back to what we were talking about earlier. It's like you can have people who are fans of the game that just like get into it for the art, stay in it for the art.
Like it would be I would hate you if you said I would call you soy if you spent this much money on like a crossover card because that's way lamer.
Yeah, no, this is like
I don't
Dreadnought's
know.
my boy.
I don't know if there are any. Well, no. Are there
Oh,
any
oh,
of the like really? I don't think
I
there
bet
are
the
any crossover
Tifa
oh,
cards
I bet
yet that are
the
really pulling
Tifa
that money.
oh,
the
I mean,
Tifa
I bet
crossover
I
card is
don't
gonna be billions of dollars. Mark my
I bet a
words.
fucking foil storm by this time next
Oh,
year
you know what?
is going to
Those
be cracked in half.
well,
Yeah.
I think those Marvel Secret Layers that's a little different because of how many people wanted those
Well,
cards because
yeah,
they
but
are
like I
also
mean,
mechanically fucking unique.
well, yeah, but like I'd put that in the same caliber as a reserve list foil.
Yeah, I suppose. I guess.
Like
There's the
I
exclusivity to it. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, no, like it's I think that some like the Dreadnought's mechanically unique.
Yeah.
Which my god, I love the concept of secret layers and shit, but fuck print to demand, man. Like Jesus Christ. Like that's so cynical. Like B5 real. B5 real.
So do we want to talk about the Tarkir announcements really quick?
Oh
'Cause
yeah, we got
I've
fucking
been
Jeskai goblins, baby. We're gonna have prowess goblins. This dude looks fucking sick as hell.
where's the Jeskai goblins?
I
Ryan
thought I
Spirit
sent
Dream.
you here, let me text you a wait, what's going on? Hold on. Sorry, I
They
just got
hit the
a
what?
goofy text.
They hit the Pentagon. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh
Oh
no.
no. The
Oh
Pentagon
no.
McDonald's. What are we gonna do now? Fuck.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. uh here. I'm texting you the Jeskai goblin. No rules text or anything has been revealed for it, but they are going to probably
Oh,
be
that
having
guy. Okay. Yeah, I saw him.
yeah, he's a buddy. Yeah, I mean like I'm stoked that we're getting a new Sarkon. I'm stoked that we're getting a new Ugin. I love the original like 3-color like different cons that we're getting spirit dragons that
Yeah.
coordinate with all of that. Like I'm at time of recording, I believe that we're going to start getting the like the story I think drops about a week from now. The first
Oh, cool.
yeah, the first episode of that. And I'm given how Aether Drift ended, I'm really, really excited to see where we go from here. Like I think Cons is gonna, or I think that Dragonstorm is gonna be fucking kicking.
I'm looking at the showcase frames and then like I guess the collector
Yeah.
exclusive showcase frames where they're this kind of like oil slick like watercolor look that I just know is in stark contrast to the kind of yellow of Aether Drift. I know these
Oh,
fucking
his
collector
frames.
cards. Yeah, man. Oh. I mhm. I really
I
tried holding off judgment until I saw them, and then I saw them, and I'm like,
oh yeah, no, seeing them in person, I'm like, well,
yep,
that's
that is
a
one
way
way to
you can.
bring
That's
back gold
it's
frames.
very unique, and like I like weird frames. I like shitty frames. I love the like the fractured foil whatever's for
Oh
like
yeah,
the full art
fuck yeah.
like I'm super okay if there's alt art for magic cards that make them look like Pokemon cards, go for it. But like Mmm. This shit's stinky. This shit's stinky doo doo. No.
Yeah, no, these like looking at the Sarkhan and the Skirmish Rhino and those like gorgeous
Oh,
multicolor like painterly borders is
Skirmish.
fucking gorgeous looking.
I'm so stoked on Skirmish Rhino. I think that's such a funny card.
That's a great name.
Yeah, it's the baby version of Siege Rhino.
Oh,
Oh, it is, isn't it?
That makes sense to me. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Skirmish is like a smaller siege. Yeah.
How are
it's
you feeling? Okay, sorry, no.
No, I was just gonna say it's a 1 mana less, slightly depowered Siege Rhino. Like it's just 1 less on everything. I think it's oh my god, I love that kind of design.
That really makes sense to me. That clicks.
Yeah, he's a buddy.
How are you feeling about the thing that I think most people saw coming out of MagicCon, which is the Mox Jasper?
Cute toy for the Ur-Dragon, head-ass card. I'm really excited to see how people try to make it work. This thing's gonna be dog water, doo-doo, stinky, unplayable, in anything but Commander.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm,
Oh, absolutely.
Debate
Well, 'cause
her.
Absolutely. Bad card.
Get her,
Bad
Jordan.
card.
Defeat
okay,
her in the
but
marketplace.
consider for a moment that we just had a ton of like very small to mid-sized dragons in foundations, which
Yeah,
means
but
that
like
you're getting off.
You're cul-de-sac. Put a land in. You're cul-de-sacking.
Yeah. Okay, but you can play a land and also play this for free, and then get an extra mana to summon those dragons early.
I'm talking just like in terms of card count. No, I think this is outside of very specific decks. I don't think that there's anything that wants it. I think it's design wise, Mox wise, it's very safe. I think it's a lot harder to get online. And I'm very happy to eat these words, but I think it's going to be a little bit harder to get online than the buy-in's going to be. And like, because the thing with a Mox is like, you want this fucking stone playable turn 1, turn 2.
Yeah, like
Like-
that's when it is most valuable. Yeah.
Like, and so because it's most likely not going to be in those situations, I think that no, if you need mana of a certain color, like if you need access to so many different types of mana and you aren't otherwise on some sort of dragon plan, what are you doing here? Like I don't see this having a home in any sort of like domain decks or big decks that like would otherwise be served by just being tighter. I don't think
it's funny you mentioned a dragon plan because I just switched to that from T-Mobile and the service has been spotty, but I don't have to worry about warming my eggs anymore, and that's been nice.
That's great.
But no, so we like to have dumb fun here. Anyway, what do you think about, because this is the second thing is like since Aether Drift, and I know I've seen some other ones where it is this kind of, it's a little bit of a wink and nod reference to, obviously the Moxes, and Aether Drift saw it with the kind of
Lotus.
Yeah, the Lotus thing. What do you think of this design where they aren't going to bring back these things that are either very well printed or incredibly powerful because, they don't want like the fucking Power 9 in Standard for good reason.
I mean, like we get these things every so often. We had back in what was it Dominar United? Give me 2 seconds. That we had time. Yeah, Dom United. There's a Lotus in Standard right now that no one's fucking playing.
Oh, is it Gilded Lotus?
Timeless Lotus.
Oh, fuck yeah. Okay. No, yeah, because they just keep making Lotuses. Yeah.
5 mana comes in taps for Wooburg. This thing's a piece of dog water. And I think that like similarly, 6 mana. I mean, granted, it makes lots of black. Like it probably pays for itself eventually. But like, if you're not like free
like you were
that,
saying, it's the same. It is the kind of design that is like neat and interesting as like a fun like completionist chase card, but it really only has a place in not just Commander but specific Commander.
Yeah, no, I want that in like I'm cheating out artifacts, I'm free dropping artifacts, I'm making copies of all of these cheap artifacts. Like I mean, oh shit, what's the name of oh wait, no, it's legendary, correct?
The Mox Jasper?
No, the Lotus.
I believe that one might be Mythic.
Damn, you
No,
hit those notes, Jordan. Holy shit.
What did I do?
You hit those notes when you did the You hit an insane falsetto. Good job, buddy.
Oh no, you can copy the Radiant Lotus. Never mind. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you put him in like a shoot, what's his name? Like Medicant or something.
I
Well,
don't know,
not with that
Canyon?
attitude. I'm more of a Medican myself.
Oh my god, we just go for the same joke.
That's awful.
I'm glad that joke completely derailed your train of thought.
That is fucking awful. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm
while you're doing that, I actually have a magic story. I was laying in bed the other day listening to Old Come Town, because Nick Mullen's my favorite comic. He was talking about how he was listening to a Magic the Gathering podcast, and my eyes just snapped open and I got out of bed because of how fucking
Jesus.
scary that was. Even though it was an episode from like 5-6 years ago. Horrifying.
Yeah. All right, I found the home for it. I found a home for Bullshit Lotus would be in a Medicant Core Guidelight. If you have max speed, then you're like free copying this for 1. You pay 7, you get 2 of those things. Yeah, go for it. Okay, but
Jesus, yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I love these cards. I think they're fun and cute, and like they're exciting to open, but they're usually pretty dog water. I haven't actually had a chance to cast it yet, but I did crack a foil Aether Spark that's going directly into my cube. And from everyone that I've talked to, that actually lives up to the hype, even though it dies to a braid. So, I mean...
Yeah, I've heard people able to do fun things with that, too.
Which, live, laugh, love. That's awesome. But, no, I think Dragon Mox is doggy doo-doo unless... we really start having more affinity cards, like affinity for artifacts and like metalcraft matter that you can just like, free cast. It's a Thopter that'll eventually be online for something. Go for it, great. But like, you're cul-de-sacking really hard in like 60 card to make this thing work. And I mean, like, yeah, there's some commander decks that absolutely are gonna fucking love this thing, but I'm more excited for Stormscale Dragon's gonna be more fun.
Yeah, Stormscale Dragon looks rad. That's gonna be fucking badonkers.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about the not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 commander decks coming in Dark-Ear?
I'd be sad if there were fewer. Like we had 5 in Duskmorn, didn't we?
Nope, there were just 4.
There was just 4? I don't remember. Oh no, there were 5 in Marching Machine. There were 5 in Marching Machine.
So do they do? Hang on, when was March? That would have been 2020. No, because they don't
23.
do 5. Okay, so they didn't do a 5 then. But before that, New Capenna had 5.
It's if you have if there's strong 3-color support in a set, and especially with a Tarkir situation, like obviously, no, I think it's it would be a misstep to not include like all 5 different triptych pairings. Like, I'm stoked. I really like the design of all the different spirit dragons. I'm really, really, really excited to see the differences between the commander versions and the standard versions of these dragons.
Yep.
I love that we have a fucking enchantment that references Alicia as well as an Alicia in standard at the same time. Like, that's my good. Like, frankly, Wizards, that's how you make me roll with the fucking Universes Beyond head-ass dookie-doo. Like, fine. Get SpongeBob into standard. But, like, give me that. Just let me see my Blorbos.
Have you seen? This was announced, I guess, yesterday. Celebrate your local game source community.
Oh yeah.
Magic presents Pride. We need to talk about this. Holy shit.
Oh,
Fucking
so they did this.
bullshit.
They did this last year. Where they kind of house rules every commander has partner. I'm very strongly considering just running my Rhea Ivor deck, but doing the partners of Norn and Sheldred. But that.
Oh my god, why?
Because I want to get the hot twink art.
I
the
want
hot they them twink art. of Nico.
I am yeah, like
the
I'm looking
Chrome
at it, I'm like,
Lantern.
oh no, I need this
If
Nico
they
art.
if
Like
they
air.
print this Chrome Lantern in standard, I will not be or not standard. If they print this, Rosa, cut what I was trying to say. Cut it here. If they print this fucking art in foil, I will not be held responsible for how I spend my money, because I know that Chrome Lantern is like technically a very bad mana rock, but A, I love it. B, I love how gay this art is. C, I think Nico's a fucking sick ass character. Like, let's just
Also, your misspeak is staying in, just so everyone knows that you fucked
thank
up
you.
and that you're human too. Because I think we need to live by our mistakes.
I love how even on this page they have like spotlighted some queer characters like Errant and Karlak.
Yep. No, it's I do really enjoy, like, when we do the good gay shit, we do the good gay shit.
I think
I'm
it's
very
nice that they're
excited
still
about
doing
this.
that stuff, because honestly, I was mentally prepared for
Yeah, I've been
to be
prepared
the
for
last
like
year of corporate pride, which is a neutral thing. You know, it's
Yeah.
not good, it's not bad. It's indicative of bad things, but in and of itself, I really don't mind. But
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of somewhat cool to see that there are artists at Wizards that do care. You know,
well, and I
I
think
mean,
it's
like, there's so many queer people that work like
so
within
many.
design at
Oh my god.
Wizards. There's and like so many people who
In the community, fans.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say
creators,
like
holy
folks
shit.
who are like shepherding this are.
it's
I mean,
folks who
hi,
know
hello.
shit.
I am a insert just a long beep here for slurs. Like, yeah, and
Well,
I
and
talk
I
about this
think
shit for free.
something like this is also entirely different from like, Target fucking selling like, oh, here's a rainbow colored fanny pack. Whereas
Yeah,
this is a
this is
community event. It
this is
relies on people showing up in person. I think that
yeah.
there's a
Go to
lot
your
more
store,
involved in that.
see the gays, show everyone your gay deck. Actually,
This
okay, maybe I'll choose
this is
peace and
this is my short stack goblin porn deck.
Ugh.
Oh my god.
uh,
I'd support it. I'd allow it.
I would not.
Printing
I would not.
critical unlimited
Has-
short stack goblin decks in Commander.
Has there been a printing of Elspeth as a creature?
Elspeth as a I don't believe so.
I think there's maybe,
unless it's
I
one of
swear
the
to-
flip commanders.
That's what I was thinking. I'm gonna hold on. Let me, because otherwise, if I'm doing this, I'm gonna make Elspeth Norn.
No, I don't think so. Does not look like it.
Dude, I came up with that goblin joke like an hour ago. I've just been waiting for an
Jesus
excuse to use it.
Christ. I support it.
I'm a comedic terrorist.
No Elspeth creatures.
Unfortunate. God.
I think I
That's
might
okay.
do. I was just asking friends if I could rule 0 Edgar Charmed Groom and Olivia Crimson Bride.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. Well, that's
I have
though.
never fucking seen 2 cards that were meant to be partner and just didn't have the keyword on them.
The OTJ, Malcolm and Breaches. I've played against a Rule 0, them partnered. Oh, that's that good.
I do love some is it nonsense.
Oh, you betcha. God.
So what else? All right, what else do we want to talk about? What else? We talked about Tarkir. We talked a bit about Avatar. We talked about Final Fantasy last time, right?
Yeah, we talked about that some. I mean, I don't think the spoilers were necessarily out, but like, I frankly at this point don't have a ton to say. It's like we've seen the face commanders for the decks, and I don't love that we have like a power crept Alicia for one of them. Like,
I feel like
I hate that, actually.
I feel like every single Final Fantasy crossover of this decade has involved some sort of spoilers. Like the whole Sephiroth Smash Ultimate thing, where his final Smash is just spoilers for the entirety of Final Fantasy VII. I don't know. It's always
I think that's different. Like
crossovers.
FF7 is like it's an iconic game And
It
that
came
Yeah,
out.
like,
It came out last
everybody's
year.
seen those fucking cutscenes 1,000 times.
It came out last year. What are you talking about? It came out in PS5 last year.
I don't think that bears out with scrutiny. But no, I remember we talked about the fuck off big cactar.
yeah,
And,
yeah, ooh, and I
either
mean,
flinging
fu-
it or swords to
yeah,
clash it.
I actually do have a Magic topic that we could discuss.
go for it.
Chudded out Magic fans. What's the deal? What's the deal with Chud Magic YouTube?
Oh my, I mean, I'm surprised at how much Magic has grown, frankly. Rosa, you weren't there when they announced that Aragorn was going to be black, right?
I was not, but I'm pissed
Y-
off
yeah.
anyway. I've got something
It-
new to get pissed off over.
The-
First-
the-
First the Human Torch, now him. Really? Come on, guys. This black
the Chuds were out in force.
People
it
were
was
pissed.
It was
Yeah.
I like God. Actually, okay, I can kind of riff on that on the flip side. I think it's really cool how far like the community has come to try to fix itself from a lot of that shit.
Well, and I think it's not
like
just.
well,
Sorry,
I mean, like
no,
I can.
continue.
I was just gonna say, like, I never felt unsafe. Like, I fired multiple cubes with entirely like straight participants other than myself, and everyone was super cool. Everyone was super chill. Like, and it wasn't even in this like kind of performative way. It was just like, oh yeah, no, like you're like we're all playing Magic together, and we all want to be playing Magic together, and so like it's cool to see that there's been development there.
So
I mean,
you think that the space was
I
more
think it
right-wing
also
in the
I
past?
think it also has to do with like the people who have shepherded might not be the right word, but the people who have led this community for a long time and who have been big parts of not just educating but continuing to be enthusiastic and getting new people to be enthusiastic about Magic have been incredibly supportive of queer people, of people of color. The best example I can think of, and I got into a conversation a couple months ago with a friend who were talking about how they just didn't really care for Prof from the Tolarian Community College. And I had, which was just like a personal thing. They just didn't like, his mannerisms and that kind of thing. And I'm like,
which
like
each their
I
own,
can,
whatever.
yeah, to each their own. I can get down with that, but like I am never going to say a bad word about that man because here's somebody who is a cis, straight, middle-aged
raised
white dude
$500,000 for trans people, like
who just like in this climate just did that. But like you go back years, you go back and look at Shuffle Up and Play, which is a commander. They have other creators on. We would love to be on it, by the way. But they have such a variance of gender identities, of skin colors, of backgrounds, of levels of experience and exposure. And
I mean, like
that
some of
is
the
not
writers for Shuffle Up and
accidental.
Play are trans. Like
Yeah, no, like
he's-
it's not accidental
he's
either. Like,
been good, like.
and I think, the fact that he is one of the, if not, I think now the biggest Magic YouTube channel, like the queer people, people of color, minorities of all shapes and sizes have been integral to this community from day
Especially
one.
the
And
little minorities.
yeah, the mirror have always been here.
The tiny
but
The little guys.
yeah.
the littlest of guys.
Bring out the little minorities.
The
Come on
little
out
guy
here.
community. The little guy community has a lot to thank Prof for.
But it has been like this. It feels like a long time ago. Whether you go to LGSs, whether you play online, there are going to be assholes. As there is with any fandom, with any kind of niche interest, there are going to be people. There's somebody at my LGS who
Talk shit.
comes to the
Drop
store.
their name. Drop their name.
I don't actually remember his name. But
Drop
there's
your
somebody
rat.
at my LGS who has a God, what the fuck? It's a Let's Go Brandon sticker on his card case.
Fucking
hell yeah, brother! Let's go.
And
mm.
on principle, the couple of people I play with, because here's the thing, he's not actually like a rude asshole. Like I've played with way worse assholes, I think everybody has.
Well,
But
yeah,
it's
but
on principle. We'll kind of target him just a little bit.
you gotta punch the bestie a few times.
It's about the principle of the thing. But
Yeah.
outside of that,
Real
as a queer
anti-fascist
person,
practice.
I have never been. It's just like what you were talking about, Bugs. Like I've never been made to feel uncomfortable at an LGS. I've never been made to feel ostracized at an LGS. Granted, that may happen one day when I sit down to play, but most people are able to realize and recognize that when you're playing Magic, you have invested a lot of time into this thing. You love this thing just like everybody else at the table, or you're learning to love it, and people want to tell you about their favorite decks, their favorite cards, tips, tricks. Like it's such a the gathering is such an apt term for this
Yeah.
game because that is at its core, that's what it's all about.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Those were bars. You should be like a speechwriter for Hillary Clinton or something. Holy shit.
Yep, that's
It
where
came
my
full
talent would
circle.
definitely go.
God damn, that was like an Obama speech. Holy fuck. You're goated, dude. Big round of applause. Let's go, Jordan.
No, but you're like very right also. Like to be sincere. Yes. No,
No,
like,
yeah.
but
I got some on the Podatog YouTube channel, which I run, in the recommended, there was just some like chud ass Magic YouTubers being recommended. I forget what they were called. I was like, huh, I guess I don't know what the political makeup of MTG is, but
it's varied.
It is, but it is broadly and well, here's the other thing is I think people are much less likely, and this bears out across every political line. Most people who will talk shit online won't
Post
talk
this-
shit to your
yeah.
face. Like they will
Absolutely.
not. If somebody is transphobic, if somebody is, posting gay slurs online, odds are if you come and sit down at a table with them, they're just going to try and play the game. They are not.
respect-
They might go and bitch about it later on their favorite forums. They might go say, "Oh, this, whatever slur. I was so disgusted." Like whatever. But in the moment, most people won't do that, and it's because they know that there are other people either like you or who are friends with you or who will support you in that instance. And
I
they
mean-
know that in real life they would be the asshole and everybody would see it.
Yeah, that goes for any
Yep.
sort of community space. Because
Mhm.
like as someone who's been called all sorts of things walking down the street, you're never really called it when you have to spend like an hour with the person. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Or if it's like in any sort of enclosed space where I'm able to take out my gun and shoot them. It's a joke, but I yeah, it's a weird thing. The whole online versus offline bigotry thing.
It is very nuts.
But at the end of the day, what I think that you guys are trying to say, but you're not brave enough to say, is if you are homophobic, shout the F slur in the street. Don't.
Yeah, come at me.
So it's
Come at
funny.
me.
It is
Please.
funny. I will say, not the one F slur encounter I've had playing Magic, because I have friends, I have trans friends, queer friends that use it.
Oh,
But there's
that's very different.
oh yeah, very
Well,
different.
that's
But
the
there was a
N-word
moment.
versus the N word. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and so there was a moment where I was playing a commander game with two other trans femmes, myself, and a straight white dude who I had never seen, and since this game I have not seen at the store since. And we were playing, and I put down my commander. I was playing Astarion, and one of the trans femmes was like, "Oh, who's Astarion?" And the other one says, "Rosa, get ready to bleep this. Oh, the vampire from Baldur's Gate." And when my friend said vampire, the straight white dude next to me like recoiled as if somebody had just literally slapped him and audibly went, "Whoa."
And it's like,
and
man.
Yeah, and so that is one of my god, in hindsight, one of my most cherished Magic memories, because we all laughed it off, and I think he was, for whatever reason, suddenly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I kind of love. I don't even kind. I fucking love that. That's
We
funny as
really
hell.
are the black people on the front lines, recuperating the N-word in the modern day. Would you say that you're like the MLK of your generation, Jordan?
Oh. In that I hate moderate liberals, and
Despite
will
being a
probably
liberal,
end up in prison in the
despite
next
being a
couple
liberal
years.
yourself.
Yeah, I hate that which I am.
Yeah,
In that I am far more radical and love me an orgy and some parties, and the FBI is probably watching me right now.
Ooh, ooh, I
Yeah,
do have a
probably.
question. Have either of you at the FBI come to your house before? Because I do have a story.
It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time at this point. I'm almost certain of it.
Pussy, get your post game up. Bugs, how
I
about you?
know. I know.
I try to be a good little poster. By
Yeah.
which I mean to say I only say head ass shit when it's private.
Yeah, when I was in the IWW, I did have an FBI agent show up and ask me about my anti-American rhetoric.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Not an FBI agent, it was two FBI agents. They come in pairs. They're a lot like
They come in pairs. They're
conjoined
just like me,
twins.
fucking
Yeah,
fruit.
exactly. Yeah. Jordan, I'm disappointed. I thought more highly of you. What the hell?
I do my work, my best work in the shadows. But like,
You
hey,
really are a
make no
liberal.
mistake,
It's over for
there
you.
are I guarantee I'm on multiple lists. I
Um
can guarantee it.
Oh
Jesus
yeah, like
Christ.
dude, YouTube is so extensively monitored. My buddy Flesh Simulator, shout out,
Shout out.
has a YouTube channel. Go check it out. We were talking about this. It's like any YouTuber who's espoused any sort of radical politics, you can just get a FOI request on yourself and just see how much info there is. Just thousands of pages. It's always so extensive. It's insane. I'm assuming there's some back ending there, but like it's genuinely bonkers. The
That's nutty as hell.
Oh yeah. I'm not gonna say who, um, but a YouTuber friend, they did an FOI request on themselves. That's like, they're getting thousands of pages over 5 years.
Ooh, I should do
Jesus
that. That sounds like fun.
Christ.
Yeah, yeah. Put in the request. There's really not you really don't have anything to lose by doing it. But yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. What I worry about with the whole YouTube thing is like, you know how Bezos and Zuck are obviously sucking on Daddy Trump's teat lately.
Oh yeah.
Indeed.
What I worry about is like Google just saying, in accordance with uh like free markets and free speech or whatever the fuck, we're gonna start censoring left leaning content.
Oh, that
Oh,
is something I am
I'm
absolutely
absolutely
bracing for.
Yeah,
I'm anticipating that.
that's something that I've been thinking about quite a bit. Yeah, I've been thinking about getting like my like, funnily enough, I've been thinking about making a second composting channel on like that right wing YouTube alternative, the free speech YouTube, where like Sam Hyde posts videos about why like the Jews are bad or whatever. I've been thinking about like getting some of my videos backed up on there because I genuinely worry about like
I mean,
YouTube changing policies with that sort of thing.
it wouldn't hurt, and having
Yeah,
that
I mean,
kind of
I keep all my shit backed up in multiple spots, so
Well, yeah, I've got it on external hard drive. I just mean so like
having like a
people
backup
don't watch
platform.
it. Yeah. Even if it obviously is all on RSS, I'm not worried about. RSS is just so decentralized that there's no way of really censoring a podcast as easily.
Yeah.
Um, I do like having those videos available. It's just something I kind of think about.
It's just
Um,
nice. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
yeah. I wish
well,
I was
do
big
we
enough
want
to like talk
to
to Curiosity Streamer over the fuck, but I digress. Magic the Gathering podcast.
Magic the
indeed
Gathering podcast. Magic the
welcome
Gathering
to your
podcast.
your latest Magic the Gathering / political podcast.
Dude, fuck all this good discussion we're having.
Oh, it's all staying in. Are you kidding?
Oh no, it is. It's I don't know. I don't think anyone's complaining. If you are, fuck you.
Yeah, seconded.
Yeah.
Well, do we have anything else we wanted to touch upon this week?
Not really from my end. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I fucking bet. I'm really looking forward to next time. So what is the next con?
The next con's not until the summer.
Okay.
And that will be over in Vegas, which I will not be going to because you
What a
could not
shithole.
pay me
What a
to go to
shithole.
Vegas
Oy, go
in the
ball.
summer.
Oy,
Buh.
Vegas is just an inhospitable fuck Vegas, dude. Oy.
I like I love MagicCon. I love seeing my friends. I will be trying to go to Atlanta.
Oh,
but-
Atlanta's a great city. Shout out Atlanta. Shout out all of our Atlanta listeners. Love Atlanta. Love it.
Yeah, hell yeah, Atlanta, fuck Vegas.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think I will try and go to. I'm working on a Judith cosplay, and I am going to try and go to Atlanta as well because I'm not trying to fucking. I'm not trying to feel that Vegas in the summertime.
When's
Like-
the
like-
Atlanta one?
Atlanta is going to be in end of September.
You know, I'll drive down. I'm in New York. It's a little bit of a drive, but it's East Coast.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Podatog does Atlanta. Let's go.
Why not?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
buddy.
We want to wrap it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Hot. Well, yeah. Thank you all for listening. This has been Podatog, where we talk pods and talk cards and get into deep political discussions about how we're all fearful for the future. My name is Bugs Matrix. You can find me at Bugs Matrix on most reasonable socials. Shit posting. Jordan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Dead Domain on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, and I'm sure some other places where I often do in-depth political discussion. I stream weekly. I talk about just everything going on here and occasionally talk about making neat magic proxies that I've been getting into lately.
And I'm Rosa, stand-up comedian, host of the Composting Podcast, which you can find YouTube and wherever you're listening to this. And you can find me on Twitter. My old account got banned. I'm now on Twitter at the handle at TradSlut, spelled Trad SLVT.
Immaculate.
Banger at. I don't know how it wasn't taken.
That kicks. That fucking kicks.
It's such a good ad. I was so happy.
Yeah, I
that
just
let me use
just
it.
score that. Jesus Christ, good job.
I was. You have no idea how happy I am.
I live, laugh, love that for you. And
Thank
on that
you.
note, pass the turn.